Vimal Kejriwal joins us now, management of KEC International. Vimalji, good morning. Always a pleasure to connect with you.
Good
Last
morning.
year was a tough year for every steel consumer, whether it is a company like KEC or, for example, anything which has got to do with the metal consumption. But now that the bulk of the inflationary metal inflation is behind us, how do you see FY24 moving?
So clearly, FY24 is better for us in terms of both margins as well as I think on the order intake side, especially with the steel and all other base metals also sort of stabilizing. I think we are in a better position to secure orders more comfortably and also execute more comfortably.
Better. Is it largely because demand is coming back?
Yes, because if you look at the numbers, Nikunj, last year we had an order intake which was almost 25-26% higher than the previous year. And even today we have an order, so I'll say tender pipeline of tenders which we have quoted, not yet awarded, and tenders to be quoted of almost 1 lakh crores, which would be, quoted in the next 3 months or so across all the segments, be it T&D, civil, railways. So clearly we are seeing a demand coming back, and slowly I think I had been a bit negative on private capex, but of late we have started seeing inquiries in private capex also.
Started seeing inquiries in private capex also, but Mr. Kejriwal, what you did talk about in your analyst meet was the fact that you're expecting growth to come from civil. You're not expecting a mega growth from railways anymore, and even T&D is a bit sluggish. Is that right?
No, T&D is not sluggish. We didn't talk about T&D being sluggish. Railways, yes, you're right. We have been around 3,700 crores of revenue for the last couple of years, even last year, although our order intake grew significantly, but it was still at 2,900. So railways has been a bit of a laggard. I do hope that the infra expenditure will start improving on the railway side. T&D has been doing very well, surprisingly. Last year, we got orders of almost 4,000 crores in T&D India. Across the business, globally, we got around 11,000 and odd crores of orders in T&D. And T&D is primarily getting driven by green renewables, whether it is for normal renewables or for the talk for green hydrogen. So I think T&D is doing well. Civil is doing very well, actually, especially on the real estate side, the commercial side now, and also the private capex.
What is the total order inflow like right now?
So last year we had an inflow of around 22,000 crores. This year we have already announced 2,400 and odd crores, and our target for the year has been around 25,000 crores.
Maximum chunk is going to come in from T&D, is it?
Roughly around 50% and odd should come from T&D, 30% from civil, 10 to 15% from railways, and the rest from cables, oil and gas, etc.
Talk to me about the confidence that you have with respect to margins, because you're talking about a double-digit margin by the exit rate of FY24, and from there, the margins are likely to expand 50 basis points per quarter. What drives this confidence?
No, I don't think we talked about post the next year 50 basis points. What we had said was that H1 we should be around 6% from the current 4.8 what we had last year, and H2 we should be around 8%. So average 7% for FY24. And exit was close to double digit. We said anything between 9, 10 or, somewhere around that. And we expected that FY25, we should be, in double digit or so. That's what we had said.
Our pass through, that's what we understand. So where will the margin expansion come from?
So a couple of things. One, Nikunj, is that last year we had large losses in our Brazil subsidiary in our EPC projects. Those projects have all been completed, and now we have shifted back right now to all supply orders. So that's one thing which is a negative part. Second is, as you rightly started with the steel price hike, so we had a significant negative on that part. So typically our project margins vary from 8 to 12%. So we will be back with that with all the losses going away. I think the other piece is that our international T&D has been doing well, and logistic costs have stabilized. I remember that, at the peak of it, logistics had gone up 4 times from what we had tendered, and now they are back. So we'll be back to normal margins.
When commodity prices, they come down, it will be a pass-through, which means in a declining commodity scenario, the pass-through will have an impact on your top line. So while giving a guidance of a 10-15% growth, are you cognizant of the fact that if steel prices and commodity prices, when they will come down, your top line largely because of a pass-through will get impacted?
Yeah, we are cognizant of that. Nikunj, typically, if you look at it, most of our international orders are fixed price. And even in T&D this year, a large number of orders are from substation, which are on the TBCB side and the green energy, which are also fixed price. So I think I don't have the exact number, but around 50 to 60% of our orders right now are on the fixed price cycle. So I don't see too much of impact on the top line because of the prices coming down.
Okay, so 50 to 60% orders are on fixed pricing. But Mr. Kejriwal, I want a clarification on a couple of points. The collections which were due from Afghanistan, have they started trickling in? What's the timeline of that? And I understand that your term gets over in March of 2025. I know that it's still a 1.5 year away, but what's the succession planning been like in the company?
So as far as Afghanistan is concerned, that we have had, we had said that we'll get around 200 crores in Q1. So we have got that money, not exactly in Q1, but we got the money we got part of it last year and part of this year. So we have got 200 crores what we had promised. The balance is due from contracts which are funded by World Bank and ADB, and we are in constant dialogue with them. Our expectation is that before the end of this year, we will get the balance money. As far as succession is concerned, I think if you look at our business, we have got quite a few, at least 6 or 7 businesses, each of them being led by senior leaders. So, and some of them are, if you look at T&D is more than 10,000 crores of turnover. So we have people, and we are also looking at saying, should we hire from outside? But that's something which the board has to decide. It's still a little bit away.
Right. Great to then have you on the show, Vimal. Good speaking with you as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.